Hi friends, welcome back to my VBR Mathematics Learning channel. So today we will discuss previous year CTET question paper. In that first part, this is for paper 1. In that first part is child development and pedagogy. So before going to start the class, please subscribe. Those who are not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and support my channel. So don't miss the video, watch a complete video. So in the first part of this child development and pedagogy, so we'll discuss one by one now. First question is, after getting hurt during a play activity, Rohan started crying. Seeing this, his father responded. So they are given a situation here. Don't behave like a girls, boys do not cry. So this statement by the father. So what is this statement it indicates? They are given 4 options here. Reflects gender stereotype, challenges gender stereotype, reduces gender bias and promotes gender equality. So after getting hurt during a play activity, Rohan started crying. So father says, don't behave like girls, boys do not cry. So this statement by the father, it reflects the gender stereotype. That is option 1 is the right answer. So here it because it assigns specific roles, tasks and responsibilities to a particular gender based on the preconceived prejudices. Okay, so for that reason it reflects the gender stereotype. So next one, in a progressive classroom. So progressive classroom is what? So they are given 4 options. Again we'll see the option. A teacher should follow fixed curriculum. A emphasis should be on competition among students. Ample opportunities should be provided for construction of knowledge. Students should be labeled on the basis of their academic scores. So here progressive classroom means it gives the ample opportunities should be provided for construction of knowledge. So option 3 is the right answer. That means a progressive classroom emphasizes a healthy educational theory and practice where students are given opportunities to construct their own knowledge. So that option 3 is the right answer. So next one, after observing that students are struggling to proceed further on an ongoing activity, a teacher decides to provide clues and hints in form of what, why, how. So according to Lev Vygotsky theory, this strategy of teacher will. So here teacher is giving the hints and clues in the form of what, why, how. So when the students are struggling to proceed the further ongoing activity. So what is this strategy teacher will do according to the Lev Vygotsky theory? So they are given 4 options. Demotivate the children to learn, act as a scaffold for learning, and third one is cause withdrawal tendency among students. Fourth one is be meaningless in process of learning. So for this the answer is according to Lev Vygotsky theory, the strategy the teacher is using is acts as a scaffold for learning. That is second option is the right answer. This strategy of providing clues and hints, what, why, how, it the students who are struggling to is known as scaffolding. Scaffolding means the students who are struggling to known as struggling to find out why, what, how, that is known as scaffolding. So scaffolding involves a more knowledgeable, offering temporary support and guidance to help a learner accomplish a task they would not be able to complete on their own. Okay, so next one, fourth question, which of the following is correct in the context of socialization of children? They are given 4 options in that which one is the correct context for socialization of children. So first one is school is a secondary socialization agent and family is a primary socialization agent. Second one is school is a primary social agent and peers are secondary socialization agent. Peers are primary socialization agent and family is a secondary socialization agent. Family and mass media both are secondary socialization agents. So correct context to socialization of children, that is School is the first one, that is school is a secondary socialization agent and family is a primary socialization agent, because the family is considered the primary agent of socialization because it is the first and most significant source of social learning during infancy and also in early childhood. And secondary socialization occurs later in the childhood, so and continues into a maturity through other agents such as schools, peers and mass media. So that family is a first and school is the secondary socialization agent. So next one, theory of multiple intelligence emphasizes that. So here the theory of multiple intelligence, it emphasizes what? Four options they are given. Intelligence quotient, IQ can be measured only by objective test? No. Intelligence in one domain ensures intelligence in all other domain? No. There are several forms of intelligence. Yes, multiple intelligence, that emphasizes that there are several forms of intelligences. That is option 3 is the right answer. This is by Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences proposes that the traditional idea of intelligence based on the IQ testing is too limited. So that it suggests that there are several distinct types of intelligences. So that option 3 is the right answer. This is by Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligence. Next one. According to Lawrence Kohlberg theory, performing an act and doing something because others approve it represents dash stage of morality. So according to Lawrence Kohlberg theory of moral development, this is nothing but theory of moral development. The which stage represents this? That is, there are given four options: pre-conventional, conventional, post-conventional, formal conventional. This stage is according to Lawrence Kohlberg, that is, it represents the conventional stage of morality. So in this stage where individuals start to internalize the moral standards of value, adult role models. So next one, Lev Vygotsky's social cultural perspective of learning emphasizes importance of dash in the learning process. Social cultural perspective of learning. So it emphasizes importance of what in the learning process. They are given four options: cultural tools, attribution, motivation, equilibration. So according to Lev Vygotsky, social cultural perspective emphasizes the importance of social interaction and the use of cultural tools such as language, symbols and artifacts, okay, in the learning process. So here they are given cultural tools, so that cultural tools is the right answer. So next one, 8th question. In his theory of cognitive development, Jean Piaget explains cognitive structures in terms of what? So in theory of cognitive development, Jean Piaget explains cognitive structures in the forms of, there are given four options: psychological tools, stimulus response association, zone of proximal development and then schemas. So according to Jean Piaget theory of cognitive development, individuals use fundamental processes like assimilation and accommodation to achieve the state of balance with their environment. So these processes involves existing cognitive structures which is termed as in terms of schemas. That is, fourth option is the right answer. Next one, pre-operational stage in Jean Piaget theory of cognitive development characterizes dash. So development of abstract thinking, concentration in thought, so centration in thought, hypothetico-deductive thinking, ability to conserve and seriate object. So pre-operational stage. So Piaget theory outlines 4 stages of cognitive development. So here the pre-operational stage is characterized by centration in thought. That is, second option is the right answer. That means centration in thought, that means which means A child tends to focus on only one aspect of situation at a time. So and is unable to consider the multiple per perspectives. So that second option is the right answer. Next one. Which of the following statement is correct in the context of development? So which one is the correct statement for the context of development? You have to find out here. They are given four options. Development has the same rate of growth across cultures for everyone. No. So development occurs only through learning then that takes place in a school. No. So development occurs only during the period of childhood. No. Development is a multi-dimensional. This is the correct statement in the context of development. That is fourth option is the right answer. That means development is a complex process that involves changes across multiple dimensions, including physical, cognitive, emotional and social aspects. So that fourth option is the right one. Next question. Sequence of development among children from birth to adolescence age is, which is the correct sequence of development among the children? You have to find out here. They are given four options. First option is sensory, concrete, abstract. Abstract, sensory, concrete. Then concrete, abstract, sensory. Then abstract, concrete, sensory. So sequence of correct sequence of development among the children from birth to adolescence age is first option, that is sensory, then concrete, then to abstract. That means according to Jean Piaget theory of cognitive development, children progresses through four stages. Here they are given only three stages. So here sensory motors age, this is from birth to 2 years. Then pre-operational stage, that is 2 to 7 years, that is they are not given. Then third stage is concrete stage, it is in between 7 to 11 years. Then formal operation, that is fourth one, abstract, that is above 11 years. So the first option is the right one. So next one. Individual differences in a progressive classroom should be treated as. So four options. A hindrance to process of learning, a failure of part of teacher, criteria for making ability based groups, important for planning of teaching learning process. Individual differences in a progressive classroom should be treated as, it is important for planning of teaching learning processes. So that means in a progressive and inclusive classroom, individual differences are not viewed as a problem but as a valuable information. So it recognizing that every child learns differently helps teachers their teaching methods and plan appropriate learning experience to maximize each student potential. So that fourth option is the right answer. Next one. In an inclusive classroom, emphasis should be on. So inclusive classroom emphasis should be on what? Performance oriented goals, undifferentiated instructions, segregation of students based on their social identity, providing opportunities aiming at maximizing potential of individual children. So inclusive classroom, it emphasizes should be on fourth option, providing opportunities aiming at maximizing potential of individual children. That means the primary goal of an inclusive classroom is to ensure that all students, regardless of their individual differences or disabilities, receive appropriate support and opportunities to reach their maximum potential. So that fourth option is the right one. Next one. According to Right of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016, which of the following term is appropriate to use? So according to Right of Persons with the Disability Act, which term is the appropriate term to use this? A retarded student, handicapped student, student with a physical disability, student with a crippled body. So the appropriate term is third option, that is student with a physical disability. So the Right of Persons with a Disability Act 2016 and Modern Inclusive Languages of Guidelines emphasizes using the person first language, which focuses on the individual rather than their disability. So that here the terms like retarded, handicapped, what they are doing the first and second, then third option crippled are considered as outdated and demeaning. Okay, so the term student with a physical disability is the appropriate term. It is used to for this act. Next one. In order to address the needs of students who are facing learning difficulties, a teacher should not. So, in order to address the needs of students who are facing learning difficulty, what teacher should not do? Should not do what? So, here use multiple audiovisual aids. No, here they are not. They are mentioned. So, first option is not the correct one. So, use constructive pedagogical approaches. No. Do individualized educational planning. These three the teacher must do. Here the question is must should not. So practice rigid structures for pedagogy and assessment. That is the fourth option is the right answer. The teacher should not do this one, because to effectively support students with learning difficulties, a teacher should employ flexible and inclusive strategies, so that this also teacher can do, second also teacher can do, third option is also teacher can do, but fourth one teacher should not do this one. Next one. Dash is the primary identifying feature of creativity. So among four options, which one is the primary identifying feature of creativity? So low comprehension, divergent thinking, hyperactivity, inattentiveness. So here primary identifying feature of creativity, that is it is divergent thinking. That is second option is the right answer. It is the process of generating multiple creative ideas by exploring many possible solutions. So which is considered, this divergent thinking is considered as primary identifying feature of creativity. So next one. In order to address learners from diverse backgrounds, a teacher should, so in order to address this, a teacher should avoid talking about aspects related to diversity. No. Draw examples from diverse settings. That is the second option is the right answer. So to address the learners from diverse backgrounds, the teacher should draw examples from diverse settings. That means to effectively teach a diverse group of learners, a teacher should use examples from varied backgrounds to make the content relatable and inclusive for all students. Okay, so that second option is the right one, remaining are wrong. So next one. Problem solving abilities can be facilitated by focusing on drill and practice. No. Encouraging fixed process of solving the problems. No. Encouraging use of analogies, generating fear among students. So problem solving abilities can be facilitated by encouraging use of analogies. That means problem solving abilities are facilitated by encouraging flexible thinking and the use of analogies to approach the problem from different perspectives. So that third option is the right one. Next one. Motivation to learn can be sustained by. So motivation to learn can be sustained by punishing a child. No. Focusing on mastery oriented goals, giving very easy tasks to children, focusing on rote memorization. So motivation to learn can be sustained by second option, that is focusing on mastery oriented goals. So motivation to learn is best sustained by focusing on this mastery oriented goals, which encourage deep learning and a desire to understand the subject for its own sake. So punishing a child and giving very easy task or focusing on the rote memorization are less effective and counterproductive method. So that here second option is the right one. Next question. Shame, that means dash, as no relation cognition can have a negative impact on cognition, is a very effective to motivate the children to learn, should be generated frequently in a teaching learning process. Shows shame can have a negative impact on cognition. So shame, that means shame and other negative emotions can have a significant negative impact on the child's cognitive function and learning process. So it is not an effective motivator. It is not an effective, which one? Shame. It is not an effective motivator and should be avoided in teaching learning process. So next one. Which of the following is most effective mode of teaching learning? So among these four, which one is the most effective mode of teaching learning? Rote memorization of content, exploration of relationship between concepts, observation without analysis, imitation and repetition. So most effective mode of teaching learning, that is exploration of relationship between concepts. So that means this exploration of relationship between concepts, it promotes the deeper understanding and critical thinking. Okay, so that this is the most effective. Another, what they are given, rote memorization, observation without analysis, and imitation or repetition are less effective methods. Okay, so next one. A teacher should analyze the various errors made by students on a given task. A teacher should analyze the various errors made by students on a given task because she can decide the degree of punishment accordingly. No. So understanding of errors are meaningful in the teaching learning process. Yes. Second option is the right one. She can segregate those who made the errors. It is not wrong. It is wrong. So learning is a solely based on correction of errors. No. So understanding of errors are the meaningful in learning and teaching processes. So that means errors made by the students are considered as a natural and valuable part of learning process. Analyzing these errors helps a teacher gain insight into a student's thought processes and identifying learning gaps and adjust their teaching strategies accordingly. So that second option is the right one. Next one. It is difficult for children to learn when, so the conditions are, information is presented in a disconnected chunks, they are intrinsically motivated, learning is socially contextualized, content is represented through multiple ways. So when it is difficult for children to learn, that is information is presented in a disconnected chunks. That is first option is the right one, because learning becomes difficult when the information is presented in a disconnected, is not a connected. So disconnected chunks because it hinders the ability to build meaningful connections and context, which is essential for effective knowledge construction. So that first option is the right one. So next one, best state of learning is high arousal, high fear, low arousal, high fear, moderate arousal, no fear, no arousal, no fear. So best state of learning is moderate arousal and no fear. So that means the optimal state for learning is typically one of the moderate arousal without fear. So moderate arousal without fear or no fear. So moderate arousal helps maintain attention and motivation, while the absence of fear ensures a safe environment to explore and learning. Okay, so that third option is the right one. Next one, constructivist view of learning suggests that children dash construction of their own knowledge, have no role to play in, are solely dependent on adults for play an active role in, are solely dependent on textbooks in. So constructivist view of learning suggests that children play an active role in construction of their own knowledge. That is option 3 is the right answer. That means the constructivist theory of learning possesses that children actively construct their own understanding and knowledge of the world through experience and reflection of those experiences. So that third option is right one. Next question. Which of the following belief is good for learning? So belief, which one is the good belief for learning? Ability is improvable, ability is fixed, efforts do not make any difference, failure uncontrollable. So here The good belief for learning is ability is improvable. A belief that ability is improvable aligns with a growth mindset which is widely considered beneficial for learning as it encourages effort and resilience. Okay. So next one, conceptual understanding among students is likely to improve in the setting which emphasizes on. So conceptual understanding among students is likely to improve in the setting which emphasizes on what? Competitions, textbook centric pedagogy, frequent examinations, inquiry and dialogue. So conceptual understanding is by, it emphasizes on inquiry and dialogue. So which is the best fostered in environment that encourages active engagement such as inquiry, dialogue rather than rote memorization, competition or frequent examination. So that fourth option is the right one. Next one, during a task, Saina is talking to herself about ways she can proceed on the task. So according to Lev Vygotsky, ideas of language and thought, this kind of private speech, here she is talking to herself. So it is a sign of private speech is a sign of, according to Lev Vygotsky, what is the sign? So cognitive immaturity, self-regulation, egocentrism, psychological disorder. So according to Lev Vygotsky, the ideas on language and thought, private speech is a sign of self-regulation. That is, second option is the right answer. So children use this internal dialogue to guide their own actions, plans, strategies and solve problems. This is called self-regulation. Next one, evaluation practices should aim at what? Labeling of students, segregation of students for ability based groups, identifying students needs and requirements, then identification of high achievers for prize distribution. So evaluation practices should aim, the aim of this evaluation is identify student needs and requirements. So option 3 is the right answer. So effective evaluation practices in education should aim primarily at identifying the students' individual needs and requirements to facilitate targeted support and improvement. Next one, last question in this psychology part. Individual differences in development of children can be attributed to. So individual differences on development of children can be attributed to what? So hereditary only, environment only, neither heredity nor environment, interplay of heredity and environment. So here individual differences in development of children, it is the interplay of heredity as well as environment. So fourth option is the right one. Individual differences in children's development are a result of both complex interaction between the both heredity as well as environment. So that fourth option is the right option. So this completes psychology part. So in the next class we will discuss next papers. So mathematics we will discuss in the next class. So still here, if you have any doubts, please write in the comment section. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and support. If you like this today's video, please give a like and share as much as possible to your friends, those who have taken CTET exam. Thank you.